Hey guys, hey, welcome back. I've lined up all the walkers and sci-fi stuff I made myself today for a showcase. So here we go. These are all the 1/72nd scale World War II sci-fi stuff I made in the scenario that the war does not end in 1945 and it continues. Now, I've got three factions here. I've got most of it is Germany, of course. I've got a little bit Russian, and American. So, and I've placed some infantry of that faction in front of the walker so you can get an idea of the scale. Now we begin here with the LP1. This is my first one I built. Still have some painting to do a little bit because I adjusted it. I created more stuff on it. And what you can do is you can take this off and you can take different value points for your army. So let's say I would like another tank in my army but it's too much in points value, but I still want to take this walker. I can take this off, and for lesser points I can put on this smaller cannon, and I can, maybe take a heavier tank along in my army. So what it's got is it's got a panzer claw or anti-tank claw, and it's got a machine gun right here. And of course, which kind of armament you choose to take in the game on the turret. So now moving on to uh, the Ubersoldat or the super soldier, and this one is a little bit inspired by Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Only it's much bigger. You can see the helmet. I've added swastika stickers. I have added a banner, which is shot to pieces because, of course, such a banner would be a target for everybody in the vicinity, of course. So it's full of bullet holes. And its armament is again the Panzer Claw. And right here, it's got some, I believe, 30 millimeter cannons to take down aircraft and to engage infantry. So here you can get a sense of the scale. I'll turn it around. See the back. Still some painting to do. Because I keep adding them and I find new ideas and I add some stuff and I have to take some of the glue off with a precision cutter, and then I have to repaint that again. So now here is I first named this one the grasshopper, but I chose to rename it to the bat because of its wings. So in German that is Schlager. And what it is basically an engine that can, with rocket thrust, that can lift off vertically. And it patrols the destroyed cities of Europe looking for tanks to destroy with this gun. It has got rocket parts under the wings as a secondary armament. Then we come to one more thing. This one in the game, this one is difficult to hit, but when you do hit it, you have a good chance of damage because of this high-tech rocket engine, of course. So, and how to use it is basically fly it from cover to cover behind houses if you don't want to shoot, but it may fire in that movement. It may fire on the move. That's the power of this one. So, but once it is hit and you get a penetration, it's difficult to survive because it will likely blow up. Here we come to the LP2, one of my favorites because it just looks super badass. It's really awesome. I nicknamed it the Bruno Walker, and what it has is an 88 cannon. Its main armament. It's got a machine gun right there for infantry. And it has a sunbeam cannon to engage aircraft. And it has these little arms that aim the weapon. It's got a rocket pod here. It's got a swastika over there. We'll turn it around. There we go. Now we come to my latest one. It's not yet painted, but it's assembled fully. And this one is pretty awesome. It's a Stook Walker. And basically what it does is these go out and they, take up an ambush position. And their only purpose in life is to take out as many as tanks as possible. So they are good for ambushing. They have a ATGM, an anti-tank missile, also right there. And the Germans have built it to engage as many as possible of the enemy, take as many tanks out as possible to, to even the odds. And what I like about this, it's still a little bit low profile, If you put a standing guy next to it, and it just looks insane, man. I think it's awesome. Yeah. Now moving on. This is the Russian. I had more Russian walkers, but I'm reworking on them, so I'll showcase you this. This is Boris, and Boris is a heavy walker. It has a power fist on the right to engage with other walkers. Let's say it would meet the super soldier. Now the super soldier is not as heavily armored as Boris. So and Boris has this anti-tank or this power fist with which it can punch other walkers to shreds. It has a Tesla gun right there, Tesla weapon, which is deadly to tanks, and it can do special attacks like shark therapy is one of them, and he has to do a skill test, and then he has to charge his batteries to the fullest, and he can engage like one worker or one target, a vehicle, with 2d6 and a +5 anti-tank add, or he can engage 5 different infantry targets with instant kill. So they're just immediately dead if they hit them, if they're hit. But the thing about that is, if he overcharges and he throws higher than he's supposed to on the skill test and the charging, then he blows himself up. So, and that's a tricky thing about this. So he's incredibly strong, but it might as well work against you. So, and the Russians have mainly built it to engage the large variety of German weaponry and armor. So Boris can be found on the very front of the battlefield to engage whatever the Germans throw first in the battlefield. So here we go further. Here's the Sherman Walker. And this is an engineer version. So it has a Pioneer shuttle there, a big one. And it has a little claw, a hand right here to move away obstacles on the road it may find to free the path, clear the road for the rest. So this is a combat engineer tank, and yeah, this can be found as well in the very advance of battle. And it has 175mm and basically a gun for an anti-infantry gun, or like a howitzer. That's sort of howitzer. And the cool thing about this one, I use hinges to use them as legs. And the cool thing is, if I push on this one here, it will just bend the knees, no problem. So, let's see. Do I have anything else to show you? Oh yeah, there was one little thing I'm working on. just working on some terrain pieces to, you know, for the scenery. And this is one of them. Because in the game, nukes have gone off in the air. You know, there's chemical plants being blown up, so some sorts of terrain are infected, and you will lose guys if you move through them. And these are marked with purple bushes, so this will be a nice add to that.